Hello, beautiful people of the internet. My name is Ryan. Welcome back to Blueprints, day 47, episode 67. Welcome. Welcome. What are we going to get up to today? In the last episode, we sent a lot of mail. We picked up a lot of trash. We sent a lot of mail. Maybe today we'll get to read that mail. I'm not sure. I hope you're having an excellent day. Thanks for spending this little bit of time with me as we unravel the mysteries of Blueprints. I'm just going to say it. Game of the year. I haven't played any of the other games that came out this year. So it really doesn't mean much coming from me. But I just, you know. This game's amazing. Amazing. Let's see what's outside. And do we have any new updates to what outdoor rooms we want to pick? First and foremost, I think we came up with the hypothesis about schoolhouse last time. That means I probably won't pick it. Okay. I believe we have 1 day left on our current blessing. So that's interesting. I have not been down in Tomb in forever. Is that a good reason to go? Probably not. Havvel, I suck with extra footsteps. But I also haven't been down there in forever. And maybe now that I know stuff, I should go. I have not been to Havvel in so long. Let's go there. It's going to potentially throw this whole run for a loop, but I have not looked down here since I had access to a sledgehammer. I turned this on. There's a dig spot. There is a lit candle, a single lit candle. The notice of termination for Denny Ravane. Which we're going to skim really quickly just to make sure there's nothing that we're missing. Neglect in your duties. Vacate the hovel, I don't know how to say it. Ensuring all tools and equipment belonging to the estate are returned to the tool shed. Your wages will be sent. Okay. Why is there a loom in an outdoor place? There's 2 dig spots. There is a moonshine distillery thingy. A like oil lamp. And that's really about it. Some pots and pans. What looks like almost a mortar and pestle. We're 100% sure this is for the 4 of blue flames, right? Yeah, okay. Just wanted to make sure. Okay, well, that was maybe a mistake to pick Havvel, but sometimes when you play a game, like it had probably been a month of my real life since I had last been inside of that room. And I was pretty confident that there wasn't anything in there that I had missed. Like that I would notice again for the first time. But always good to double check your work, especially when in games like this you pick up so much more information, you know? In the months since I've been in there, I've learned so much. Maybe there would have been a clue for a new puzzle, which I certainly did not know about, the letter puzzle, since the cat puzzle. I don't know what to call that, since I was last in there. Okay. We're in the corner, and we did not get conservatory. These now cost steps, so kitchen would be really smart really early on. I don't have a salt shaker, but I do have a key card. I'm going to need dining room here. We're going to run out of footsteps as well. It's just going to happen. Porterhouse steak for a showroom. Chef salad will gain a lot more if we get green rooms. So we should think about drafting that. I'm going to leave Chef Salad in here until we draft at least a little bit up this hallway. Or up this file. Spread gems in each green room. The problem with that is that I don't actually need gems. How the fuck does Havvel make sense? The only thing I can think of is the... Is it study? It's study. Study lets you redraft using gems. If you never had to spend your gems on anything else, you could always redraft. So maybe we really need to get study here. I'm going to take pantry for now. Of course, we would gain 5 total footsteps. You know, we would lose 3, gain 2. Lose 3, gain 5 if we drafted patio and then came back and got that meal. But that's not worth it to me. Early throne room. We take it. 100%. Because we need... that means that this run we can guarantee... We can try to get the Sanctum key done. It's still right here. Oh my god, I started this episode recording without my notebook. I wondered why my desk felt so empty. I have 16 windows open on my computer, but nothing on my desk. Okay. So, that also means that we now have a king from the chess puzzle. So that's good. Okay. We have access to room 46 if we need it. We could do something really interesting here, which is that if special rooms don't take gems, the early part of a run is where I'm most often getting gems. I could go outside. I could go to Foundation. I could go to Inner Sanctum, do the key. Then I could draft from Foundation to try to get to Antechamber. Here are the 2 problems I see with that situation. 1, I have not taken security yet, so there are not as many high security doors as there should be for me to get there because I only have 1 key right now. 2, I don't have a way into Antechamber just yet, so I'd have to find one. Either a weight room or a secret garden or a... So it's really not like I'm that close to... And my thought was if I can get to room 46, then I can get that crown, which would have a benefit for drafting red rooms, I believe. But, I don't know. It's just an idea. I don't know that I love the idea, but it's an idea. Take observatory here. I'm taking observatory a lot more than I used to. That's a knight. We have a king, we have a knight, we have... What else? This is gems. These are both gems. So funny. We have to get studied today. We literally have to get studied today because otherwise this run is cooked. And by that I mean I've wasted... I'm going to have so many gems that are not useful for anything else. Related to gems. Related to gems. Oh my god. I think we take Solarium here. It's a dead end, which sucks, but... This run's wacky. This run's wacky. My goals will be to deliver my Sanctum key. That's basically my goal. I think I tend to get Nagula and Ravane confused, you know, in a way where I'm pretty sure it's just that Ravane is the original groundskeeper, gets fired, Nagula gets hired, and is not I don't know, is not doing an amazing job. Was there a chess piece in Solarium? It was a pawn. Okay. All right, let's keep drafting. Oh, boy. I gotta hand it to the game. This is interesting. This is very interesting. Here's what's interesting about this this draw right here. I don't need my gems. Money, a little bit less so. I still need a little bit of money, especially if I want to buy food from kitchen or keys from locksmith or whatever. A shovel from commissary. On the other hand, freezer is the hard part of furnace and freezer to get. I'm taking it. I'm taking it. This run is weird, which means it is time to experiment. It's not time to play it safe. Okay. So we need to draft furnace very close to here in order to... this run is so bad. This run is so weird. In order to make this, to make freezer melt, which is the thing I have never done. It appears that there's actually 2 levels of melting in freezer. So we'll see how that goes, but it's time to at least start messing with the freezer puzzle. Let me get my cheat sheet. 4 plus 3 is 7. Multiplied by 3 is 21 flipped to 12. 1 plus 2 is 3. Multiplied by 7 is 21. Minus 15 is 6. 6 flipped is still 6. Okay, apparently I did that wrong. This was 21, right? And then 12. Ah, these are not on the same row. These are not on the same circle. Okay. So it's actually 321 minus 5 is 16 flipped is 61 minus 10 is 51 15. Let's go. Okay. 13 plus 10 is 23 32 minus 20 is 12 plus 9 21 12. Did any of that make sense to anyone? I have to learn to stop playing this game first thing in the morning. Ooh, I need to do some jumping jacks or something to get my brain warmed up. All right, get some blood flowing in my body. All right, this run. Okay, so just to set the stakes for you all for this run. Could end at literally any point in time. I do have a key card, so I could always go up through Foundation and draft a couple more rooms. But we have currently 1 junction from Break Room. That's it. I need to get a furnace to get freezer. I have access to 0 gems and 0 coins right now. 1 key. I'm hemorrhaging footsteps. And I have a bad outer room that doesn't actually help me at all. So things are bad. But in a way, this is bad. God damn it. I need red rooms here. But in a way, maybe it'll still work out. Let's take commissary. Oh, I can't buy anything. Haha, I forgot. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy, boy. I'm at the absolute mercy of the game right now. It's kind of fun. This might be the shortest run we've ever had. Drawing room here for sure. God, I haven't been to master bedroom in so long. I I wonder if there's anything in there I haven't solved. I don't think I can take this. You can take it, but it doesn't get added. Oh boy, I should have left it there. I didn't know that. It is frozen, so you can't add or subtract. That makes so much sense. Give me a red room. Give me a furnace. Of course, now we're drafting rarer rooms because of our thing, so that's not good. Boiler room here is actually interesting. But I can't take... No. Let's take... Can't take... This is... I smacked the desk? No, I smacked the desk and I think I clicked my mouse as part of it. Like my mouse bounced. No, this run is so cursed. It's okay, it's okay. Oh, I didn't even mean to do that. Why did I grab... Oh no, and then in my panic, I grabbed the 3 gems, meaning I just yeeted them into the void because of course they can't be added to my total. Fuck! This is the weirdest run, the strangest run. None of the normal rules apply. Study would have been great before I chose freezer. God damn it. It's also a dead end, so it wouldn't be good. Let's take aquarium. Aquarium kind of counts as a red room is the only reason I'm taking it. I'm not taking this gem. Excuse me. Okay. What do we hope to do here? I think furnace is our easiest win condition, and I don't know how likely it is to happen because of solarium is actually probably hurting it a little bit. Our other win condition is to run outside, go down to the inner sanctum, and at least use the sanctum key. If we use the sanctum key, this run is fine. We accomplished at least a little something. We checked Havvel. It doesn't have anything new. We deliver the sanctum key, that'd be great. And we give ourselves a bonus of coins and key and gems tomorrow. That's fine. We just need to recenter our expectations. Which are, this is not going to be a run where we solve a million things at once. Now, how do I make furnace more likely? It is a... What is the rarity here? It is rare, so it's actually probably pretty good. But I don't know where I need to draft it in order to make it work. I'm sure this would be fine. Conference room gives me junctions. On the other hand... For the chess puzzle, which is the other win condition, the chess puzzle, I do have a king. That's it. I'm just kidding. I do have a king, which is one of the hardest ones to get. Clock tower actually gives you a rook. Let's choose conference room. I don't have a queen and I don't have a bishop, and it's too far fetched to hope for just yet. Let's hope for furnace right here instead. Lavatory, okay, and armory gives you a I can't spend the money, but armory gives you a knight, which I don't have right now either. Laboratory would allow me, it would cost footsteps, but it would allow me to run an experiment. Lavatory, who knows? Let's take lavatory. You know what? Let's rather than take lavatory, let's consult our sources here. I have an idea in my head that I think is probably incorrect. You know how sometimes you play a game or it doesn't have to be a game. It can be just you have an idea about how the world works. And your idea is wrong, but it has been it's been in your head long enough that it's hard to get out. I currently have this hypothesis in my head, which is that I'm pretty sure if you draft a red room, it makes other red rooms more likely. That hypothesis I'm pretty sure is actually false, because why else would Furnace have the ability to make red rooms more often if that was also true? But for some reason in my head, I've basically just like, stay away from red rooms. The first time you draft one, all red rooms are more likely. I don't think that's true. Let's go to the source. Let's see if we can find anything here. Red rooms are a daring addition to any home. They provide a small element of danger. They come with a little bit of risk, potential for rewards. Does not say anything. Does not say anything. I think it's just an incorrect hypothesis in my head. Taking lavatory would be truly useless. Let's take armory on the off chance that I do eventually unlock freezer, because if this has axe in it, it did not. Then it would be worth something. Okay, tunnel is interesting. I don't like any of these choices, if I'm being completely honest with you. Boudoir gives us a gem, but I can't actually spend it. Tunnel gives us the ability to continue north, which I guess is fine. Coat check, I currently have a sleeping mask in there. The only thing I could chuck in there would be stuff that I'm not particularly confident I want to throw in there. Let's just take tunnel. Ooh, door is locked. Okay. We're going to leave that for now. Although, if ever there were a place to do it, this would be it. Because this should match up with foundation. It does. On the other hand, God, this run just sucks. 9 footsteps. This run just sucks. It's okay. We're going to go drop this Sanctum key off before anything else happens. But first I'm going to try and draft the goddamn... furnace. Okay, so let's take a look at the chess puzzle again. We currently have a pawn. We have a knight. We do not have a bishop. This would give us the rook. So all we would need would be a bishop and a queen. It's not particularly likely, but that's study and chapel. Chapel's pretty easy to get. Study, less so. Let's take nook. Let's grab a key. Let's go down. I can also draft here without using a footstep, which would give us more information. So what's the right call here? Office does not do anything for us. We already have a king. Secret passage. I can't get study or her ladyship's chamber by trying to be fancy there. It just won't work. Frankly, I think it's basically kennel that is the best because it costs nothing and goes north. But, okay. Her ladyship's chamber and study are the two queens, and her ladyship's chamber is going to be near impossible to get on this run, so. I have compass. I love the, how do I phrase this? I love the, like, dance of this game, which is not knowing when you get into a run what it's going to hold and having to make decisions on the fly about how it's going to work, what you're going to do with the options you've been given. Sometimes you dance well. And sometimes you pick freezer early on and things start to look a little ugly. I don't know that I'm dancing well today, but I am having fun dancing, you know? All right. So the other question here is which door I should use this sanctum key on. And the good news is I don't think there's a good one for me to choose it on. So I have not solved the mountain, which I believe is like Araja. And I don't have a realm sigil for that. So I also do not have any information for any of the others. Where should I start here? One place I kind of want to look is, let's go with, was it a classroom thing? Is it this thing? That just tells us arch. That's not what I'm looking for. It's a classroom thing. Like classroom 4 right here. Okay, 1 second. We're gonna take a second. We're gonna give ourselves some information. We can always click on these to see the names of the places. Arch, Orinda, Araja, Nuance, Karerika, Vera, Morajai. But I think it would be helpful to me to have this right here have names and information. So this is Arch, and I think frankly this is, I have written down on my notebook that this is not yellow, so okay, do we want to take a second and work through this? We sure could. We sure could. Can we make ourselves a full cheat sheet of all of the information about all of the nations? This is Orinda / Finn, depending on who you ask, / depending on when. This is Iraja. This is Nuance. This one is Morajai, right? Morajai. And then I need to look back at the other ones. One of them is Carrerica, but I don't remember which one. Carrerica, I think, is the left one. Nuance, Orenda, Arch, Iraja. Carrerica, Vera is this one down here. Vera, table. Okay. Of these, I have no real strong feelings about what I would choose next. Let's go ahead and... We know the colors of certain maps. First off, Orenda, Finn is red. Orenda is black. Iraja is like purple, right? We need all of our information in one place. Iraja is purple. Our 2 postcard was Finn Aries, yep. Our 1 postcard was Orenda. All I have is Orenda, Finn, and Iraja, which is kind of crazy. Okay. If we look at all of these different classroom color sheets, the math we did was Caleb loves everything is red. Each color is only used twice, meaning Arch is not blue. I took it to mean Arch is most likely yellow. This is 9 of 12, I think, because... So Iraja is purple. Oh my god. Too many documents. Iraja is purple, so that's 1 wrong. My guess is this lizard is green. So these 2 are just flip-flopped. So those 2 are wrong. There are 3 yellow, which means I think Arch is not yellow. There's got to be a way. I have to have figured this out at some point before right now, right? I think I figured this out somewhere. I just don't remember where. This game becomes an archival problem. I don't remember where I have solved this before. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Each single object, single thing is going to get used twice. So... we know what's red. Fuck me. It's just, sometimes it's simpler for me to just start from the beginning. And by that I mean be really thorough and do it this way. So let's add a new layer on top of this. We're going to check off the ones that are done. We're going to Anton check off the ones that are done. Red is done. 100%. 1, 2. Purple is done. 1, 2. Done. Orange. I think those are the only 2 that could probably be orange. We at least know this one is good. Yellow. Blue, I think, is pretty simple. 1, 2. So let's go ahead and mark... What's the button? Is it Alt? Nope. Ah, shit. What's the button to Alt mark? Ah! I thought it was just Shift. Sorry, guys. That one's wrong. We know that for a fact. It's got to be this one, and then so that leaves us with, correct? We need one extra green, which has to be the lizard. So I think it's got to be green, check. Yellow we know is this. I think orange is correct as is. So I thought this was yellow, but I have written down not yellow. Unless Carrerica... No, Carrerica wouldn't be wrong, because then we'd have the wrong number wrong, right? This is classroom 1. How am I failing at this? Okay. So we have 10 out of 12. What ones do you have wrong here? You have these two mixed. Truly, Arj has them correct minus these two. 100%. I think Carrerica has to be, I think to answer my own question here, I think Carrerica has to be orange. I think Arch has to be yellow, but there's an asterisk there. Okay, what other information can I get from my other worksheets? Or my other information generally throughout the game. I don't know. Let's find out. Let's find out. The stamps to me are one of the big ones. I'm just trying to make this bigger. There we go. Nuance looks green. Orenda's black. Morajai is blue. To me, we just trust that, right? To me, we just trust, like... Why are there only... Oh, this is old. I never took a new screenshot. This is old. I added 2 more directly after this. Oh, shit. Okay. Oh, boy. Okay, we're gonna trust this for now and go... Nuance is green. Slightly lighter green. Morajai is the blue, right? Morajai is the blue. And then Vera is left. Okay, I'm gonna leave this here for now, and we're gonna come back to that in another time. Basically, I'm going to change where I compile my nation information. My nation information is going to be compiled there. I'm going to leave it there for now because I feel... I feel decent about where we are, and also I need to go check my stamps. I need to check a bunch of other things. So what that leaves us with is this. Vera, Nuance, Morajai, Carrerica. Between them, Morajai is interesting to me mostly because of the Morajai puzzle boxes, but I don't know shit about it. I could keep the tradition going and go here. Is this a choice that matters? I don't know. So far, these are the three of these 4 nations are the ones that I have the most information about. The other thing I really desperately need to do is I need to go back through, and I'll do this off camera. I need to go back through and be like, lost and found rune right here. Was this used in one of them or no? I'm gonna reorganize my parts of runes that I've found, and put them in all of that information, put them in new places, because I'm pretty sure I used that one, but I need to double check that. All right, let's just do Carrerica. I truly have no expectations about what this is going to look like when we get in here. But we have it open. I'm not even going to try and solve it. Because we don't know shit about Carrerica. We don't know shit. For Arch, I said it was yellow. Okay. My notes specifically say, maybe this is what I got confused. My notes specifically say it is not yellow horseback spiritual lightning. What part did I get wrong? So it might be yellow. In fact, I think it is very likely yellow. It's probably one of the other ones that I got wrong. I don't know. Let's do this. Let's take screenshots of... So for my own sake, I want screenshots of what I've finished. So that I can compare them against other stuff. Like if I find a piece of a realm sigil out in the game, I want to be able to compare it against this one. This one is Orinda finished realm sigil, right? This is Orinda. Yes, okay. And then this is Finn. I'm always a little torn between doing some of this like more grunt work, archival work on camera versus off. But it's hard to know what this is not a finished one. This is just our arch hypothesis, I think. Arch hypothesis. I lean towards doing it on camera because if I'm like actively working through the process of trying to think through something, because I just never know when that moment will come where it actually happens for me, you know? This is finished Iraja. This is Iraja finished realm sigil. So with that done, now let us go back. Where all have I found pieces of realm sigils? One, first and foremost, I believe in right here. This is the Realm and Rune final book, the like complete book. This is the exact same as the Finn finished realm. So that's how we know what that one is. That's how we got that piece of information. I'm going to go ahead and copy that information over to another folder and call it Finn Clue. Okay. Then we discovered... Now, how did we get... So we got a couple pieces of realm sigils. Here's one inside of the clock tower, which is currently being used in Iraja. So this is the Irajan one. It tells us the outside border, and it tells us the flower. It did not tell us the other information. But clock tower... Oops, that's my USB noise. Sorry about that. My computer noise. But this was Iraja clue. Okay. There was also one inside of the Lost and Found. Do you see what I mean about like at some point the puzzles in this game become archival. They become a question of how you sort your information as much as it is about how you and sort and store and catalog, etc. as much as it is about how you do anything else. Okay, so this is the Orinda Secret Garden Realm Sigil. And this is the Lost and Found rune. I don't believe that that one necessarily has been used. Okay, 1 second. I'm writing stuff down. Secret Garden Realm Sigil. This was just the completed version of Orinda, right? 100%. That's just the completed Orinda. Okay. Then we have this Clock Tower one. Or sorry, Lost and Found one. Do we have anything else? We have a couple things on the front of these, but these are just Fen Aries on the front of the passports. I believe that is every realm sigil we have found. Were there drawings anywhere? I don't know that there were drawings anywhere. Now, I do think, most likely, I would say if I were designing the Realm Sigil puzzle... Okay. First things first. Let's take this one step at a time. This pizza thing. Does that match any of the ones that we have currently solved? It is not Arch. It has nothing that matches with Arch so far. It does not match our finished Erasion, or Fin, or Orindan. So this one is still a big question mark. I will note down that the Lost and Found rune is still... Sorry, that was my sound. Is still a big question mark. We don't know what this belongs to. Lost and Found. Here's where we start looking for other clues. Is Lost and Found is a red room, but it is a found floor plan. Does it say anything about a specific nation? It does not. Okay, so that's one piece of information. The next thing we need to think about is this. I know for a fact, if I were designing the Realm Sigil puzzles, this is already proven true. I would not give the answers as little pieces of sigils that you find around the map until you have the full thing. I would make you do some reading comprehension and read the history of Orindia and learn things in between the lines of other pieces of lore. So, next question is this. We just found new secret archives type of thing. That would be information about Iraja. Unfortunately, we've already solved that one. I need information about Arch. So how do I get more information about Arch? And frankly, how do I get more information about Carrerica? Right? So this is Carrerica. So I'm taking better notes on my notebook for what we have solved. We've solved Orinda, Fin, Iraja. We've not solved Archer, Carrerica. Okay, perfect. Okay. What do I know about Carrerica? I mean, I could put it in like a sentence. Carrerica exists by Great Tress. Like on this part of the map. That's it. That's all I know. The North Circle. This is the Carrerican logo. I don't know what you call it. I think that's enough banging my head against this particular wall for today. Nothing else from any other classrooms would tell us this information. I think the stamps. I think the stamps is the big one. Hold up. Let me go back to the stamps real quick. I think the stamps is the big one, and I need to go take another screenshot of more stamps. I don't currently have library, right? I thought I already took a better photo of stamps. Did I not do it? Nope, I didn't. Okay. So, I mean, this tells us, like, nuance, that's air power. Morajai, that's water power. Iraja, that's... I don't know. Iraja is the one that's, like, poetry. So, the problem is I don't have either nuance or Morajai, and I probably should have. So let's do that. Let's write that down on my notebook. Nuance... I'm going to write down green, air power, and then who knows. Morajai is the rainbow-looking logo. Blue. They have a navy. Okay, we'll leave that right there. All right, so time to figure out what to do with the rest of this run. I can go draft a couple more things when I get back up. I don't know that Freezer's going to do anything for us. We could end in break room if we get the time, but I don't know that we're going to get the time. These rooms are tough because I feel like I'm probably still leaving a little meat on the bone. They're the type of puzzle that leaves so much to... requires so much like vast game knowledge that I cannot consider my entirety of my game knowledge right now without it also says Morajai Seafarers. Yeah, so Morajai is 100% water power. Does that make sense as an idea? Sorry, I'm drifting off. My brain is drifting off in the middle of sentences. How do I know the realms? It's kind of a beautiful puzzle in that way. How do I know the realm sigil for Morajai? Well, first off, I have to pay attention in classroom to get the color of their flag correct. Second off, I can find a stamp which gives us a hint about the color and the type of aviation, the type of travel they may use. You can pick those details up in different ways right here, like the mention of seafarers who value the compact boxes as log entertainment on long voyages. But those are some of the easier parts of this box. Like next I need to determine like the weather or whatever. The other parts of the realm, of the sigil. It's a beautiful puzzle in that way. Like, it really requires you understand the... It's not like, what's the capital of Morajai? It's like, what's the culture? Okay. We are going to go draft a couple more rooms and probably call it a day because... But that's a win. We delivered the Sanctum Key. That's a big win. I had been meaning to do that for a while now. So from here, I can try drafting out the top of Kennel. I think I would rather draft out the other side of Cloister and work towards this area right here, because this might still be Freezer Furnace territory. My one key. Okay, for the chess puzzle, which I think would be really tough right now, also library. for stamps. For the chess puzzle, I have throne. I have nook. I need chapel. And I need study. Oh, study gets us there, actually. Study gets us one away from... All I would have to do is draft chapel. But then I also have to make it back outside. 21 footsteps. I think we got to try it. I think we got to try it. I think those are dice right there. Let's count my footsteps. 1, 2, 3. Sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Probably a couple to get downstairs to the chess puzzle. So we really cannot do this more than like... We really can't go more than a couple steps right now. Can draft inside of here for free. Secret passage to red room. It would take 3 steps, taking me down to 16. I'd have to step inside, which would be 15. But then I get 3 rolls to get chapel. I think that works. Sorry, y'all. I'm getting sick. Life with a toddler. I just cannot do anything to stay healthy for more than 2 weeks at a time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's close, but I think if we choose red here... Let's double check. We definitely have a pawn. We have a knight in armory. We have a bishop in chapel if we can get it right here. We have a rook in nook. We have a queen in study. We have a king in throne room. We take red rover. Please don't be locked. Please don't be locked. No! Fuck. I didn't think about the keys. I used the footsteps and I didn't think about the keys. Fuck. It's not a huge deal. I just don't have security. So, of course, these are all locked goddamn doors. What's the best way to make this happen? I could try going to kennel, but that takes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's just like, I can do from den and aquarium, but I don't know if either of those is locked. God damn it, dude. That's my own mistake. It's my own fault. Oof. I have made some mistakes today, that's for sure. Damn. All right. We just don't have the footsteps otherwise. We have to try it from here. We don't have the footsteps to go the other direction. Oh my god, we're going to do it. I need either chapel, rumpus, bookshop, which is not possible, or attic. I have to get bookshop from library. So let's go ahead and redraw. Redraw. No. Dining room. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You've just got to be shitting me right now. It would give me lunch pail, which gives me a couple more footsteps. But I don't have keys. What if this aquarium room is unlocked? If the aquarium room is unlocked, I could get Geist bedroom, get some dice, and then go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's try it. It's not going to work. I've resigned myself to my fate here. but so you're telling me there's a chance. Chapel, rumpus, or attic? One more die. Chapel, rumpus, or attic? God damn it. Okay, the cool thing is I would love to go to mailroom. That's still totally fine. We could also go corridor is always unlocked. We should take the win where we can get it, which is the mailroom. We'll take the win where we can get it. We can't get the chess puzzle, but that's okay. That'll be easier to get on a different day. Look at all these fucking letters. All right, buckle up. Let me take a drink. Buckle the fuck up. I gotta make a new folder in my note in my notes for mailroom letters. We have read 3 of them so far. Plus the original one from our dad. Please, 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 let this be a big reveal of some sort of knowledge. We don't have a magnifying glass, which does suck. That's okay. This is the letter from our dad. Get some sleep. That's the letter that starts here. We have Randolph Moore notes. Monitoring radiation levels. There's been speculation, basically wishes us luck. That's letter number 1. Letter number 2 gets us access to the network with Swan Song. Letter number 3 tells us the laboratory answer. And that's it. Number 4. Simon, in case it's useful to you, here's a rough diagram of the steam duct system. Due to the ever-changing nature of the rooms on the estate, we ended up building the duct system to be quite flexible. If you look along the ceiling in many rooms, you will find many of them have been outfitted with steam ducts. As long as you align these rooms together in an uninterrupted string, power can be transferred from room to room, even if the boiler room and its intended destination are on opposite sides of the house. That is not a new piece of information, but that is okay. Let me screenshot it. I'm going to have to start putting, like, titles for what the letters include in their info. Like, we have so many letters now, I'm going to have to start titling them. This one includes information about steam ducts. Lab, pump room, garage, laundry room. Those are all rooms that we knew took power. We knew they had ducts, etc. Okay. This might be... Let's see. This is number 5. Simon, let me know if I'm writing you too much. I've never been too good at gauging where the line of impropriety is. And for all I know, maybe the help I'm offering you with these letters is unwanted. Yeah, you're backseating me. Maybe you're perfectly fine without my help. I'm not. It's been a bit of a moral quandary for me as I've written these, as I am fairly certain your uncle didn't want us to assist you on your quest. Still, if it was that important, I have to believe he'd have the foresight to specifically instruct us not to interfere. Nothing ever deterred him from that level of supervision in the past, and after working alongside him for over a decade, I like to at least imagine that we were friends and that I knew him well. In conclusion, I think he would have found the level of help I have offered, well within the acceptable range. Mailroom letter 5-1. Giving help. I haven't spoken too much about him since his departure, and I know you didn't know him that well, but as soon as you're ready, I'm going to have plenty of stories to tell. He was a fearless businessman with the greatest respect for invention. Of all the laboratories I've worked in, I can tell you Mount Holly was a gem. And I'm hoping that we can continue that work once you've taken up the reins. But I won't get ahead of myself. You still have to find the 46th room. Joke's on you! I found the 46th room, motherfucker. Dear Simon, after giving it some thought, I've decided I'm going to continue helping you. I also just had a small chat with the probate lawyer, and he assures me there's nothing in the Baron's instructions that would preclude me from offering you my modest assistance. So let me tell you what I know. About a week before Sinclair died, something rather curious happened. A few lab assistants were called by Mrs. Babbage, the house manager, to remove several floor plans from Sinclair's drafting studio. Typically, all of the unused floor plans are kept there, and I have never heard of them being moved to another location, nor would I presume to guess the reason for such action. I'm not sure which floor plans were removed, or where they were moved to, save one, which I was instructed to remove myself. I think this probably refers to the, like, lost, or the like, found floor plans. Not studio editions, but the stuff we've, like, dug up. From, like, tunnel, for instance. Things that have been removed and then buried somewhere. That was not done. Assuming it was not moved again after I hit it, you should be able to find it in the observatory, hidden within the lens compartment of the telescope therein. If there is a reason behind the removal of these floor plans from the drafting studio, hopefully this will serve as the first illuminating step towards finding out why. Okay, so this is number... Mailroom letter 6, page 2, on the topic of lost floor plans. Hey, Simon. I'm going to assume at this point you've likely reached the upper ranks of the house, run into our keycard security doors. They're actually a fairly new addition to the house that were designed by Kirk Darren, who's Kirk Darren, and myself, and were installed after an unfortunate incident 2 years ago when some of your uncle's correspondence was stolen by a member of the staff who had somehow managed to reach a room that they should not have been able to find. Yup. AKA Denny Ravane. We're still not 100% sure how he got past the antechamber seals, but it was clear after that episode that not every member of the staff should have unchecked access to the higher ranks of the estate. It's important to note here that in my own experience, I have found every other member of the staff to be extremely trustworthy and unwavering in their loyalty to your uncle. I really like Randolph's writing and voice, and I hope that he's not somehow actually a terrible person. Okay. Still, after that incident, we decided to err against our own confidences and opted to install a state-of-the-art security system, issuing keycards to only the most trusted members of the senior staff. If you find the security doors become an annoyance while you are attempting to navigate the house, you should be able to lower their frequency from the security terminal. There's even a nifty trick to unlock them by utilizing the utility closet in conjunction with the security settings. Yeah, that's just powering things off. Okay, I think that just means powering things off. I mean, the much niftier trick is to alter the break room so that it gives you a key card every single day. It's great. Okay, steam power. Simon, following up on the map I created outlining the steam power duct system, I thought it would be helpful to provide you with a corresponding map for gas power, which is an outdated system that is currently only utilized outside the house in locations on the grounds. Apple Orchard, Havvel, Schoolhouse, Gemstone Cavern. Hope this helps. This is mailroom letter 8. We'll call it elevator. Simon, just in case it wasn't explicit in the emails, I decided to contact DC Power directly, get some additional usage instructions for the VAC systems they installed. This information is actually as much as for me as it is for you, as I often spent 10 minutes in the utility closet just pressing random buttons until coming up with the desired result, but I rarely understand exactly how it is that I get there. After half an hour on hold, Okay, so this is number 9, utility closet. After half an hour on hold, I finally got to speak to the technician who personally designed the system, compiled a list of helpful operating instructions. I'll add that material on a separate sheet I'll include with this letter. As always, hope this helps you. If 5 out of the 6 indicators are all the same color, pressing the 6th indicator will always sync it up with the other 5. So as I read this, I have one thought in my head. Is it possible utility closet has a second puzzle inside of it? If not, this information is useless. If so, this information is helpful. If all 6 lights are green, pressing any of them will result in the appearance of a blue indicator. If all 6 lights are purple, pressing any of them will result in the appearance of a white indicator. Pressing a blue indicator will turn it off and flip both of its neighbors to blue unless one of those neighbors is red. So, I still haven't screenshotted the office email. I think this is probably basically the same as the information that I found, as is mostly the case with these letters. I think they're basically like hints that kind of give you information you could always find in other places. I think I have done that in the email of the office is where I found that information. Greetings, Simon. Hope all's well, going well on the estate. I was discussing my communication with you with another fellow technician, Kimberly Thompson. She suggested I disclose to you the locations of the drafting strategy issues she has personally found on the estate. I have all 5 of these. Dormitory, drafting studio, library, bookshop. The above list is according to her. I can't personally vouch that they are accurate. I love that we're getting somebody else's help, though. Maybe it means I'll get help from a different employee as well. Simon, if I'm going to be mentioning members of the staff... Okay, this is big. This is big. Members of the staff. My alarm bells are ringing inside of my head. Perhaps I should give you a brief introduction. Mrs. Ann Babbage, house manager, my boss. Kirk Darren, head of security. That's a pseudonym. Probably. Maybe not. It depends on if you trust that note, that green note. Randolph Moore. Lead lab technician. Network admin. Humble author of these letters. Kimberly Thompson, lab assistant and helpful sidekick. We know that she got access to Blackbridge stuff, like admin access. Chef DeCamp, head of kitchen, maker of tasty meals. That can't be your first name. So what's your first name? I have Chef DeCamp written down over here, so apparently I found that exact phrasing in a different piece of information somewhere. Hartley Ruota, the Baron's personal valet, who is retiring. Christoph, the chauffeur, does not... I believe Christoph's last name starts with a T, but that's not mentioned here. And then Robert Nogula, the new groundskeeper. There are a handful of other names among the various live-out and seasonal service staff, but due to their infrequent mention, I thought it best to omit them from this cursory introduction. So neither of the maids gets mentioned, which I think is interesting. Okay. This is very useful to me. This is mailroom letter 11. Staff list. 12. Another successful experiment. Another letter. You've certainly been keeping yourself busy. As I've spent the last few days racking my brain trying to come up with new clues for you, I'm reminded of your mother's aptly named book, A New Clue, and how fiendishly She hid the clues for her readers within its pages. Don't worry, I won't be hiding my clues for you in imagery or requiring you to comb the text with a magnifying glass. The truth is I'm not nearly as clever or creative as she was. The best I can muster trying to be cryptic and mysterious would be something like break the bricks in the weight room with something that has a handle and is very heavy. I'm afraid in spite of my efforts, the result is not quite cryptic and even less mysterious. I'll leave the riddles to your great uncle and his niece. Amazing. Mailroom letter 12. Weight room. Only 2 left. Dear Simon, as I've been running out of ideas of my own, yesterday I asked Kirk Darren if he had any additional security advice I could pass on. And to my surprise, he gave me an envelope, directed me to include it in my next correspondence to you. I did not ask him what it contained, so I'll be very curious to hear from you after this is all over. Find out whether or not it was of any use. Holy shit. Okay. Who is Kirk Darren? Unused memos. Read are lies unless handwritten. Safe code 4368. The numbers 6, 7, and 9 do not appear in any of the fixed combinations of safes on the estate. That is apparently true. The combinations I have seen so far, 415, 0303, 1225, 1208, and 1108. Plus the current date in the shelter. Safe code 1213. Safe code D8. That's handwritten red, which means it's true. What? There is a safe on rank 10? Okay, that just means room 46. That just means room 46. Oh, my head hurts. Okay. My head doesn't even hurt about that one. My head hurts about the other one. Okay. Let's go one at a time here. I have a lot of thoughts. So, I'm going to start saving memos in my photos as true or false. This is memo. This is safe code memo false. It shouldn't really matter. We've solved this safe. It doesn't matter. This is very interesting. 6, 7, and 9 do not appear. I think I only have... Well, it depends. It depends. There's 8 letters. I have read 6. There is a letter in the rotating room in the underground. Probably. I think we've seen it. Like, I think it's... There's a letter. I think it's one of the 8 letters. It's a little weird as a safe. I don't know that I count it as a safe. So I don't know... 8 dates, crack 8 safes. Does it count as a safe? I don't know. I think so. It has a combination lock, but the lock is not a date exactly. It has letters. I'm not sure. Long story short. This is true. Cannot include 6, 7, 9. There is also a rank 10. We'll get there. We'll get there. One step at a time, Ryan. One step at a time. Let me save this as... Memo about safes. True. God damn it. I clicked back on the screen. Safe code 1213. This is false. This is handwritten and says D8. But D8 is the clue, not the... This is study. This refers to the queen date. D8. December 8th? The answer is 1208, which is the date. Okay, the answer... In the study, there is a chessboard. The queen sits on D8, which I referred to as queen date. The date of the queen related to something. On December 9th, the day before the birth of a potential queen, D8, December 8th. But this is saying, this is the thing that confused me, is it's saying if it's handwritten, it's true. But it's not saying D8 has something to do with the safe code. It's saying D8 is the safe code, which is true if you just add EC, December 8th. I either overcooked this and she's not a queen. But I think it says princess. Why would it say princess? Why would it say December 9th? Why would it say on Tuesday? I either overcooked this or both are true, which is probably the case. Both are true. I think it might have been as simple as just typing in December 8th from the beginning when you see December 8th. D8. However, I like to think that I'm right. I don't want to know in the comments. This is still a blind-ass playthrough. Just to be clear, just to be very clear. Study safe code true. D8. Okay. And then the next one is confusing. There is a safe on rank 10. It is green. So the thing that I need to come to peace with right now, right fucking now, is this. Kirk Darren is a pseudonym. Where is it? Where's the... There it is. This darkroom photo should technically go up here. In darkroom. Green memos found in Hartley's room are always false. This is the thing that I'm kind of struggling to wrap my head around. I think it's possible that that means other green memos are always true. But I do not know that that is true. This is kind of like a parlor room puzzle. If green memos found in Hartley's room are always false, does that mean that green memos found in other rooms are always true? Or does it mean that they are sometimes true? Why would you say always if you didn't fucking mean it? You know? Why would you say always in particular there? I don't know. I'm going to operate right now under the assumption that green memos not found in Hartley's room are likely true. That's going to cause me a little bit of a headache, but I feel like it's what I have to do to likely true to allow myself some sanity. Does that make sense? This one is false. And then the only other green note I have found is the one that I have right in front of me. Shit, I didn't mean to close that. Okay. So we're going to call this likely true. There's a safe on rank 10. I have no reason to understand why this would be false. Or I have no reason to believe to think why this would be false. Safe on rank 10. Memo likely true. It also, like, green makes sense from a thematic standpoint if you're like, this is true. This is definitely true. Okay, that's a very interesting letter. Maybe the most interesting letter we've seen today. Why is Kirk Darren giving me that stuff, though? That's the problem. Because Kirk Darren is a pseudonym, is also a green memo. Is Kirk Darren in charge of the memos? I don't know. Oh! Simon, I can't think of any reasons you'd need to access the server administrator controls before I return. But your father has mentioned your interest in computers, so I have a feeling you may be a bit more hands-on than your great uncle. You'll find the admin terminal in Blackbridge Grotto. A small cavern sealed, much like the story, off of the East Drive. I believe I've previously explained how to restore power to the grotto in one of my earlier letters. However, keep in mind that accessing the terminal requires an admin key. Unfortunately, I won't be able to set up one for you eventually until I return, but your admin key will eventually be Joan S. Or if you prefer, we could use a pseudonym. I'm sure we'll discuss it in greater detail when I return. I have a couple thoughts about this. So this is saying, as I read this, this is a clue saying, this is mailroom letter 14, admin key. Joan S. will not work. However, try other names in that way, and maybe it'll work. Here's the other piece of information. It uses the word pseudonym, which makes me a little concerned. Because the pseudonym is a word that is really on my mind right now with Kirk fucking Darren. So do I try? Try all names in BB Grotto, including DARR capital K. 100%. Okay. This run is done, unfortunately. We have 7 steps left, which I think is enough to get us to break room, but that's it. We'll get a key card for tomorrow, but I gotta be honest, this blessing has been a pain in my ass. It has not worked a single time recently. We'll have a bunch more gems and stuff tomorrow, which is nice, but we won't get freezer unfrozen today. Kimberly Thompson, Kirk Darren, Ian Babbage, Robert Nagula, Christoph T, Hartley Ruota, Randolph Moore. Okay, we're figuring it out. We are absolutely figuring it out. We're getting there. It's just not quite. It's not quite there. Okay. I need to screenshot stamps. That's the other thing I need to add to my list. Ooh. What a weird run. I made some mistakes. I made some questionable decisions, and then I made some mistakes. Those are not the exact same thing, I think, in this situation. Drafting Freezer was a questionable decision, but it would have been an amazing decision if I would have gotten Furnace. Havvel, questionable decision. Would have been amazing if we would have found something new. Then I made some mistakes. I grabbed gems when I didn't need to. I walked into the wrong rooms. I drafted Secret Passage to guarantee myself the ability to get Chapel when I did not have enough keys to do it. A little of this, a little of that. We completed a Sanctum key. We read all of the letters in Mailroom, which is amazing. I don't know how much room there is for more letters in Mailroom. There's not a lot of space on that counter. So I have a feeling we may have almost maxed that out. We also... I I don't know. Did we do anything else? We saved ourselves some gems and coins for tomorrow. That's about it. That's going to do it for this run. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. We got some key pieces of lore. A safe on rank 10. That sounds very appealing to me. I'll see you guys very soon. It probably has to do with the... I just realized. Probably has to do with the blackboard of, like, figuring out in what order you did what countries. The cork board. That's going to do it for this run. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you've had a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow, I think. See ya.